about it. This your girl, Comedian Joy, and I've been telling you about my food tours, Eat, Drink, Ride. Well, now I got my very own bus. You see the one with my picture on it? Grew up in Mobile, went to school in Montgomery. I left my degrees in broadcasting, so I didn't realize in that field that you got to kind of move to be where you want to be. So I got a job in Florida, Fort Myers. Never heard of a snowbird. Never even heard of Fort Myers. So I only stayed there a year, and I was like, okay, lived in Mobile, lived in Montgomery. I'm like, okay, God, it's Birmingham or Huntsville. And so luckily I got the job to move here in Birmingham in '97. And so I just knew this is home for me. I eventually became a comedian, a clean comedian, because people thought I was funny. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm telling you what I'm literally thinking. So that gave birth to Comedian Joy. And so I was doing clean comedy about maybe 10, 15 years, and then eventually got off into food because I felt like that Birmingham had a great food local food scene, but we would always hear about these one or two same restaurants. In my mind, what about these other restaurants that are struggling? What about these other local people? Because what people don't realize, by the time their doors do open, they're broke. They don't have anyone to market them. Why couldn't I talk about it? I love eating, got the skin to prove it. And so I said, that would be cool. So someone told me, I was doing a radio show. He said, why don't you start doing a food blog and bring them on the radio show? That's a great idea. So some kind of way, I already knew some people from the Convention Bureau. They invited me to help them with their food tour that they were having, and got on one of the buses by Prideline. They were the transportation company, and the bus driver said, someone wants to meet you. It was their manager. He said, my sister watches your food show. What can you do with our party bus? I don't know. I'm not that kind of girl. I've never been on a party bus. So then a friend of mine said, why don't you do one of your restaurant segments? Because now I get a TV show talking about this food. He said, why don't you do it on a party bus? You know, that's a great idea. And they said you could also ride around on the bus to showcase it off. Once we went live, I was like, yeah, we're going to come to your house, It clicked. We don't have a food tour in this city. People watch my show and say, Joy, I want to go and eat where you eat. Now I can take you. You know the places we've written down, say where we want to go and never go. But if I literally take you there, you're going to go and you're going to love it. That gave birth to the Eat, Drink, and Ride food tours. And so that started in 2017. And I figured this is what I could do with the bus to make money, because I didn't want to have people on there just doing this, because that gets on my nerves. That's late at night, I'm old, and I'll be sleeping. But the food tour, I could literally share my food experiences with people, and then they can go back and take their friends, and it'll be a win for the local restaurants. So when I tell you, it has been an amazing thing. So as I was working with Prideline, I realized, ooh, football season is coming. They're not going to rent that bus for a discount, because again, as a business person, I wouldn't give me a discount either, because football season is a major here. Go and make your money. So I said, well, you know, let me go and see if I can find a bus. And I was at a networking event. This guy told me, I know a guy named Chris. He's over here at the bus center, and I promise he'll get you a bus. But when he said, I'm going to give you this guy, go see Chris, that changed the whole trajectory. Chris Clark. He is my salesperson. He sold me 5 buses. I've sold 2 of them. Right now I have 3. Chris is just not my salesperson. He's a friend. He basically took me through 101 of owning a bus. Because like a lot of people, you think, I'm going to get this bus and I'm going to make a boatload of money. Chris told me they also break down. When they break down, you got to have a place where they can fix it, because otherwise you're out of business. And he just helped me to learn about just different insights, like where you want to get a bus, the type of bus, the size of bus, because there's things that you don't think about. Where are you going to park the bus? That I own the buses, but I can also drive the buses. So I actually got my CDL because one of my bus drivers said her dream was to own a CDL school. So I'm going to make your dream come true. So I was her first graduate, but I understand the hardest part, and still is a challenge, is that backing up. Oh my God, you can have 1 million backup cameras, but you got to get that bus to cooperate with you, because that back end, it takes its time getting there. You got to make sure you have enough space to go out and all that kind of stuff. So many memorable times on that bus. I have people that have said that how they've been wanting to do the bus tour for years, and they finally made it. That was her line. I finally made it. And they were on there with their friends. They sung. I had one time at the end of the tour, a lady, she gave like a prophetic word, was like telling me that God was going to bless my business. Another time, it was just the number of, the other thing that really gets me is the birthday surprises. Like, I have people that are literally in tears crying because their friends surprised them on the bus. So that's very moving. So it's been like so many good times. I've had a number of repeat customers that come back. We're now friends. I have another one. They came one weekend. The following Saturday, they were back. They brought more family and friends. Every time their family and friends come in from out of town, from Ohio, they're coming. I have considered them my sisters. I go to their house. I went to their retirement party. So it's a number of people that started as strangers and now we're friends. That bus has truly, truly been amazing. And I never dreamed that when I first started doing it. So there are a number of occasions that I've had the buses out all at the same time. I could not do it without my amazing team. They are better than Chick-fil-A because it's their pleasure. The beauty is, since I've started with the bus tours, I've also added another layer to my tour company. I'm also a travel agent. So a lot of times I'm gone. I can remotely unlock those buses, let my team in, look on the GPS, I know where they are. So a lot of times those buses are out and Joy is not even in the States. So again, I have an amazing team that helps me to make that happen. And so I try to tell them as much as possible how much they appreciate it, and I can't do it without them. For someone that wants to get into the bus business, my first thing I always tell people, you need cash, a reserve. I tell people a minimum of 10, but 20 would be great. You need that in savings because the bus is going to break. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but trust me, I'm not saying something bad on you. It's going to break. And it costs a lot of money to get it repaired. So that's the first thing. Number two is decide what you want to do with your bus. Right? If you want to be a long haul person, if you just want to do tours, if you want a certain clientele, because all of that matters. If you just want to be a person to go to the dog track, you're not going to make a lot of money. You got to think about how can I get the most bang out of my buck for this, and then step out there and then just do it. You're going to learn a lot of stuff along the way, but yeah, you got to have that money. And yeah, you gotta make them notes on time. I don't know why they want those bus notes on time every month. Jeez, can we get a loyalty card on that? Oh my goodness. Service department has been amazing to Joy. They really try to get me back on the road as fast as possible. They have been so helpful. But at the end, after I signed that bill, I always tell them, I don't want to see you again soon, only in Walmart somewhere. Another piece of advice I would give to someone who wants to get a bus is to get a bus where you know they service buses in your area. So here in Birmingham, Ford is extremely good. They do buses. They have one shop that does all the diesel mechanic work. I have 2 Ford buses, and they are amazing. And then my Sprinter, it's a Mercedes Sprinter. And again, they work on Sprinters here in Birmingham. They too have been amazing. So you got to think about who's going to service it. Can you get parts for it? How quickly can you get that thing back on the road? Because if it's sitting, you're not making money. So if you don't know a date that you want to come on the tour and you're thinking, man, mom has everything, give mom a gift certificate to the Eat, Drink, and Ride food tour. You can find them on the website. That's comedianjoy.com. It's at the bottom of the page. Get as many as you want to. Like, hey, I love giving gift certificates. And then they just need to call me or email me, and then we can just make sure the day that they want to come that we do have a full tour, or if we have a private tour that I just check with those people and say, hey, I just need to squeeze a few more on there. So some people don't feel comfortable riding with strangers, and I get it. So you can book a private tour. So a private tour is just basically you with your group of friends. I prefer to cap off at 17 because I still have to get people inside those restaurants. Technically, I can squeeze it up to 20. Now, if you have groups larger than that, I will have to use multiple buses, but we'll go in different directions. Again, it's just so that I can get your guests inside the restaurant with the restaurant's other guests. And then if you say, hey, Joy, I don't have that many friends, no problem. Just come on a public tour. Still email me for both, because if you book your private tour on the website, other people are going to see it and then they're going to join. But if you have a private tour and you don't feel like collecting the money, then I'll just send you a private link and we'll pull yours off the website. So that way you still can have a great time. Everyone's still going to see the 5 restaurants, taste the food, and have a good time. It just gives you the ability to have fun with your friends or to meet some new ones. Favorite tours I love doing. I do a lot of birthday parties, but I would definitely like to see more team building, because during the week it's a lot easier to get groups of people in the restaurant, especially if we're talking about right after lunch, or we could do it that evening, because people have been locked, I don't want to say locked up, or they have not been together for a while because of the pandemic. Also, it's just a great way to get them out of the office, a change of scenery. And what 2 things people like? Being on a nice bus and eating, or just sitting in the office all the time, just with tons and tons of work. So I would definitely encourage people to want to do more team building. Obviously, you can celebrate birthdays. It's a great way to celebrate your leaders as well as your staff who's making things happen for you every day. So come and experience it. And the cool thing about the food tour, a lot of people get wrapped up into where we're going. Listen, I eat and drink for a living. I earned all this skin. So trust me on that part. You just bring the people and I got you. Those are my famous last words. I got you.